Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Get this. Testing. Change nothing. Two track. Testing, testing. Oh, turn me down. Turn me up. Jeez Louise, NFP today. What's going on? Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Great rising, great rising. 1 second. Baby. Give me a sec.
It sound right, boy.
Oh my God, so good. For what? NFP in 10 minutes. In 6 minutes. NMP and unemployment rate. If you're trading right now, be careful. 6 minutes, 4 minutes. Why I say 6 minutes? 4 minutes, NFP and unemployment rate. It's 1 minute, 1 minute, 26 seconds. NFP numbers and unemployment. See what we get here. See how the markets react to the information coming out. See how they react to the data that's coming out. I'm not trading it. I need to start with 1 micro and then add to it. Twenty-six seconds. 26 seconds. Let's see what these numbers come out as. 9 seconds. 9 seconds. And it is 8:30. Woo! Look at that. Whoa! Holy shit. Was anybody in that long? Man, I hate to be on the wrong side of that. All right, unemployment rate was prior was 4.2%, 4.2%. Forecast was 4.2%. The actual 4.2%. So it came in at 4.2%. Non-farm payrolls came in better than expected, and so the market obviously liked that information. The prior was 185,000. Forecast was 130,000, and the actual was 177,000. So forecast was 130,000, came in at 177,000, and the markets kind of just spiked up here. Pretty good, pretty good. That's crazy. What is that? 930. Almost 100 point candle. What we were seeing a couple months ago on a regular. Oh, what happened to my music? All right. Well, non-farm came in good. The market's still kind of continuing a little higher here, giving us FOMO. Man, imagine being on the right side of that thing. It's not all that. It's 100 points. Question is, will we continue higher today? Do we pull back? Are we avoiding a recession here? I sure hope so. Way better than expected. You know, they say sometimes the first move is the wrong move, but we'll see. That put us above 20,000. To buy a 20,000 dip is the question. I gotta stay away from that 1 minute chart. And I muted, darn it. Testing, testing. How can I hear anything now? Oh. Testing, testing. All right, trying to buy it back up here. Let's see. Oh, I want to play around with this. Questions that need answered. Spy up again. Spy up. Intel down. Nvidia up. Meta up. Tesla down. CrowdStrike up. Amazon, Apple, Google, ABGO up. Palantir. I can get Boeing off of there. Boeing is down. What in the world? What in the world? Just take this high out right here. Oh, there it is. Time is 8:37. Is this sending us to my target, my original overnight target? That's still pumping here. UPS lays off what? No, he doesn't. What? UPS cutting $20. Testing. Testing, testing. Pulling back here a little bit. I'm trying to find some good music. That's it. I mean, what we got going on? How about that spike? NFP came in better than expected. So the market digested that as good news. Well, they liked it. The market's been up since then. Unemployment rate came in as expected. Sometimes good news is bad news and bad news is good news, right? According to the markets, anyway. The U.S. economy added 177,000 jobs in April as the labor market remained resilient in the wake of Trump's tariffs. So that's what, 17,000 more than expected? I'm sorry, 47,000 more than expected. My bracelet just... keeps hitting the desk and dragging. Okay, we gotta look like we got some buyers coming in. We got some more buyers stepping in and lining up. Or what? Mixed signals. MACD is bearish, but prices they're raising the price. Cloud is bullish, conditions are bullish. Everything are those buyers. There goes those buyers. MACD flipping.
Perfect.
Still continuing higher here. Not missing it. Going to my target. Wait, what? What? Market's open in 40 minutes. They did. What? phone doing that? Why is my phone? YouTube. What is happening? It's not tracing. Be more patient. That was the entry right there. So to add it. Oh, my green light stopped working all of a sudden. Is my mic muted? Why isn't my mute? Testing, testing. What did happen? Oh my goodness. Testing, testing. Settings. Oh my goodness. Well, I did something. I don't know. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing. Testing, testing. How is the mic picking me up if it's turned off? What is... I have no clue what's going on here. For some reason, my mute button stopped working. And I don't know if it's my mic or if it's the platform. But something changed because this green light went off. I just selected something and it came back on. It's been off for like 2 days. Guys, I don't know what's going on. I can't figure out. Can't figure out what's changed. This is... Nope. What? I do not know. Oh no, I need to put that back on. Oh, wait. Got me out so we can go to my Target. There it goes. I know it's gonna pull back. I need to either leave my stop alone where it's at, or pull it back below where I think it's gonna pull back to. Or way further than where I think it's gonna pull back to. Bullish, bullish, bullish. And my mic is doing things I don't know. You know what? Like, does this thing even have to be? Anybody know why I turned my mic off and it still was picking up sound? Like, is it the software platform that's giving it power since it's plugged in? Pulling from it? I don't know. Maybe in these settings? Let me see. Okay, driver. Check your microphone setting. Testing, testing. That's horrible. Low latency audio buffering. I love that. Audio. Market's open in 25 minutes. So y'all can hear it. Let me mute my mic. Let me mute my mic real quick. Actually, I don't think that helped at all. That's the one. Wait, what the fuck? Why do I have two faces? Microphone. Mutes or unmutes. Which one of these buttons picks up? Let's see. So I'm supposed to delete this? Can't do it. Nothing. Source, mic. Oh, I'm telling you, mute output. Mute output. Hello, testing. Did that change my audio input? Oh my goodness, guys, I'm having trouble. I feel like when I mute this, it makes me sound lower, and then when I unmute it, it sounds better. All right, 21 minutes until market open. Testing. There it goes to my target yesterday's high. See if we can find another trade. Yeah, I kind of missed that. Missed it. Took a quick scalp before to break it at wick, and then got in here and got out. Got out early. Actually was stopped out, just in case they wanted to pull back further than that previous area of resistance or support. I don't know what happened, but just one trade. Actually, yeah, just no. I took an overnight trade. I risked 400 to make 1,000, and it didn't play out. I was in profit at some point in time, but it came back. So I woke up down 400, and then I just took a quick 2 scalps. So down 385 on a day. I've been having some trouble this week. Some mixed trading going on, ups and downs. I'm looking forward to the weekend because I need a reset. How you doing? But my mic, I cannot figure out. Something is going on. Yeah, it be like that sometimes. I'm telling you. That's why I like Top Step. I still have my account open with them, and I'm always keep a combine with them. But yeah, they have a practice account when you're with them, so you know, if you can reset every month if you want, if you've blown the account. But for the rest of the month, you're not forced to like reset if you're not ready, or whenever you need to feel like you need to. You can trade on the practice account. When I first started learning how to trade futures, I would do that many times. Once I seen how fast you can lose money, I would actually trade my practice account first, and then like after getting the feel of the markets, you know, then I would switch to like the combine and trade that. But yeah, these markets are tough. I mean, like Court was saying yesterday, you know, selling may go away. That's the thing that's said. And I typically have a rough time during Q2. I've said it before, between April and July. It's like from April, that's why I didn't want to blow that funded account. I blew that funded account because if I blew it, I'm like, the data says that I just have a hard time. And I'm not funded again. That could change this year, but I'm not funded again until like July. And this is why, like, not the week before last, we had some good moves. So I was thinking, like, oh, we could potentially, you know, have some good moves. Like, we may see some good moves. Markets are different a little, but nope. It's that same choppy action where it gives you like 2 setup. For me, my setups I look for, it gives me like 2 of them a day, but I'm finding myself not patient enough to wait for them because I don't know when they're coming. Just like every other trader, and it's like, I want something to happen. Well, let me take this trade. Let me take that trade. Quick scalps, and then before you know it, it's all bad. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with paper trading. I mean, essentially, that's what we do in a sim account, right? It's not real money yet. When you pass in evals and combines, it's like paper trading. But you're being evaluated by someone, and then once you pass it, they're like, oh, okay, I can back you. And if you get so many payouts, then it's like, oh, okay, you can go to live. Yeah, exactly. Yep, tougher out. Yep. It's market cycles. It's just the conditions. And that's probably why people say it. Selling may go away. Like, don't even play around with the market. Just come back at at a better time. Now, that's not to say that you can't catch moves, because you can. But for me, it just doesn't work for me to sit and try to scalp all day. And that's why, like I said, with that funded account, I don't know. I just sent me on tilt. I went on tilt Friday, and it bled over till Monday, and I had a good day Tuesday. And then Wednesday was mixed, and yesterday I was just like, at this point it's just like, I'm burnt out this week. I just need to reset. But I really wanted. That's why I was just like, just take small days, $100, $200 days, 300, whatever, 400, 500. Take those days and just get through. April, May, June. July, it'll turn around. We're in the fourth quarter. Excuse me. Because June is the end of the second quarter, so now we switch cycles again. You know. That's part of the game too, though, right? When you start realizing, and that's why time is so hard to be taught. Like, you can learn how to read the charts all you want, but you have to sit through these different cycles. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you didn't trade last April, you would, last quarter, that's like the second quarter, you wouldn't even know what I was talking about. You like, oh, you got to sit through it the first time, and maybe even the second time. And then the third time, which is 3 years later, right? The third April, you're like, wait a minute. I've seen this before. It's like a video game. Wall Street set to open higher on tariff, jobs data, optimism. Yeah, it is always changing. It does. But that's why it's tough. There's different market cycles. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Like right now, like quarter 1, somewhere during quarter 1, the initial balance range started widening, and that trade started working for me again. But before that, it wasn't. For like the end of quarter 3 going into quarter 4, it stopped working. So I had to trade a whole different strategy. And that's why, a lot of things, I don't know if a lot of people talk about that, but you need multiple strategies because the market conditions change. So what the strategy you trade this month may not be the same next month. You know what I'm saying? Like right now we're in those ranging markets, and I've seen it different where we get even tighter, like 100-point initial balances, and we kind of just rotate within them, rotate to the top, maybe to the bottom, maybe out of it a little bit and in of it. We're kind of seeing some of that now, but then other times that changes where we get, wider rotations. It just, they're always changing. They're always changing. The summer markets aren't always that great either. But within every cycle, there are months that are like, and that's what I found. That's why I'm like, I'm to that point now where that's why it kind of bummed out, and I'm bummed out that I'm not going to, keep dwelling on it. It is what it is. I'll get into another account, but just when you get to the point where you understand, like, it's not even about making. Sometimes it's not about making. For me, it's not about making so much every day, but just about surviving and then trying to be there to capture the big moves that do come. Because the market is ranging like 70% of the time. So it's like, oh, I don't need to fight and try to force trades or try to trade, the crappy price action, a choppy price action and blow the account. I just need to just take a little bit or take nothing and just survive. But and the other hard part is, okay, when the move comes, you got to catch it. You can't be scared. You got to capitalize on it. And that's hard because as traders, if we're sitting in front of the charts, we gonna push the button eventually. We're gonna be as patient as we can, right? I've seen it over and over again. I've done it over and over again. You can only be so patient, and then it develops over time. But you're so patient, and then you're like, all right, I'm taking this trade. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then so it's hard, but it's possible. You just got to keep looking forward, brush it off, keep pushing. It's definitely like if you're working for it today, then it's guaranteed that when your time comes in the future, like you'll be on that right path. You'll be on that right path to capture that moment, to seize that moment. That's how I look at life, you know. It's not instant gratification. We can't just think that we're just gonna start trading, and even within a year or two, you're just gonna be profitable and be rich. It don't happen like that. We can't, make a doctor's salary in a month just by trading for a year. If that's the case, everybody would do it. You gotta go through some things. You gotta develop a skill. You gotta develop the emotions. You know what I'm saying? You gotta build that mental capital, that emotional capital. That financial capital, those barriers. You gotta build all that stuff up to be able to survive this game. And I understand that, and I understand it more the more I learn. You do have to. And sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I don't like. I tell my nephews not to use the word hate, but sometimes I despise it. It's just I don't know. I love it more than I despise it. But it's just like this love hate relationship, because I still find it fascinating that because human behavior does not change, we can look at the data on the charts and we can say, well, look, during this presidential election, or during this news event, or during this news outlet, or during this war, you know what I'm saying? Or during this time, during that time, when this happens, when that happens, this is how people, which is the market, right? It's the market. This is how people typically respond to it. And it's more fascinating things. Like, I'll be seeing calculus all in here, you know what I'm saying? I mean, options are calculated based on derivatives, but I just think it's pretty dope that, because human behavior doesn't change. We can just look at these. We might not notice it, but some people do, maybe. I don't know, I do, but I know I'm looking at these charts, and what we're really doing is kind of predicting human behavior. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but we're predicting human behavior and reaction to things. We're looking at the price moving, and we're trying to identify patterns, but that's what these things are. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's the big wigs that moves the markets, you know what I'm saying? People still follow that, especially day traders. Like, traders, so many minds and thoughts trying to look for the same thing. And then wherever that place is where you get a lot of people, like more people thinking the same thing than not, right? One thing outweighing the other, then you get a move. You get a move, like a continuation, you know what I'm saying? There, like participation from the public. And so for me, it's like, man, I love this thing. And then especially when you be right and you're seeing things, like, it's exciting, right? But then when it's time to get tortured, when it's time to get tortured, it is not fun. Nobody wants to go through that. It's like, yeah, come on, I'll take it. Hurry up. Like, when is this gonna be over? Hurry up. All right, I know my time is coming. Right? And so for me right now, I'm like, are you done yet? Because I knew, like, I was doing great. I was doing well. So, okay, here my time came. Now, are you done yet? And another thing for me is, like, it's just hard, And so you do really want to put those numbers up when you're having good days, so that when you do have bad days, you can survive them. But it's hard because at first, when you just got that $2,000 risk and you get into funding evals, I'm like, man, whatever. But once I get into the funding, it's like, okay, let me be careful. Try to be careful, and try to build this cushion up. But you're gonna start to experience burnout, which means just take a break, And that he's so silly, Keanu. And that he's silly. And it goes back to discipline, having the discipline to be patient. Yeah, most people do just want, and you can't. If you just in it for because you want the money, it's gonna drive you crazy. It's gonna drive you crazy because what? The market ain't giving you the money like that. The market rewards patience, and those who work for it. You know what I'm saying? Just like anything else, that's probably what really drive people crazy. And they get to yelling at the screen and pray. Well, I've yelled before too. Not at the screen, but like, I've had my days, man, where I'm like, where you think about it, like, I should just really take off on this computer right now. But it's not the computer's fault. The computer is not doing anything to you, right? It's your emotions, and you paid money for all this stuff in here. You better not lay a finger. Folks better start rationalizing. You better not lay a finger on any of that. I don't care if you can buy it again. What is that saw? Go outside and jog or something. Just get up. When I get up, if I get up and just walk in the kitchen or walk upstairs or something, open the door and just step outside, sometimes I reset that way. Yeah, I sure do. Yeah. Oh, really? You're a psychology? Are you? Oh my God, I've cried before. That just me. That just me. Listen, what that means is that you're further along in your journey, because it's this thing, right? I was so excited to learn about it. I was happy. I was learning. I want to teach everybody. Markets are open 9:30. I want to teach everybody. And then it got to the point where I started losing. I said, I don't care. I'm gonna learn this. I just gotta learn it. That just means I gotta learn. I ain't tripping. I'm gonna learn it, right? If I lose it, I can make it. Then it gets to the point where you're like, man, why isn't this working? So you changing strategy. Then you start finding stuff that work. And then the next part is, okay, you got all that together. You got the strategies. You know how to trade. Now let's work on your psychology, girl. That psychology part is the hardest. It's the hardest part. I started crying last year. That's when I was like, oh, I'm getting closer. I was like, I'm crying. Like, I was upset, and it wasn't even about the money. It was just like not being able, just doing the same thing over and over. Like, why? Why am I doing the same? Like, why? Why can't I control this? But I know I can. But when I'm in the moment, oh, that's so frustrating. That's why I be telling people, I'm like, yeah, you think you got control over yourself? You think you got it all figured out? Try to trade. Because trading to have you in your mind, for a split second in your mind, you're saying don't push the button, and your finger pushed the damn button. And you like, why did I just push the button? I just told myself not to push the button. But somehow the button got pushed. And now you in a trade. And you're like, well, let me just see if it play out. Like, man, I've been through all of that. But sobbing in the corner is funny. And I'm not laughing at you like that. I'm laughing because I understand. I've understood. I understand. Honey, I've hit the floor before, like, man. Just upset. So upset, man. Especially when you did so good. And then you gotta start over. It's like, I don't even care about none of that. I don't care that I gotta start over. Like, man, I just put in all that work. I just put in so much work. And I gotta start over? Say it ain't so. Alright, well, it looks like we conditions. Let's see what happens. I'm not gonna try to. I don't know what the market is doing. Yeah, that's an 8. I don't know what the market is doing. I'm just gonna trade what I see. Just push the button. I'm gonna trade what I see, and what I see right now was a pullback for some continuation. You see that 5-minute right there. Conditions are bullish. MACD giving up, so pretty muted open. I mean, we didn't get any crazy volatility that started off, so to me that's a good sign. That means maybe I can put 2 of these micros on, or maybe even trade minis. I just want to pass this combo. I'm down 385. Ain't nothing. We pass it or we fail it and restart. Gosh, brutal. That was a nice beat. Did I missed this one. Nope. Rejecting offer. Just testing yesterday's high. Sitting there. Time is 9:33. Let's see what we get today. long over previous days. I know, right? You don't know if you trust it yet. That's the thing. Can I? It's what, and then when you get spun around like I've been doing all week, you don't even know what to trust anymore. That's why it's just to the point where you got to just start putting on what you see until you start getting winners and gain that confidence back. But yeah, let me see what the daily looks like. Well, it's definitely bullish. Ooh, that's nice and bullish, huh? Look at that big old candle. Let's see. Oh yeah, because I think do I got a level there? Oh, should have one. Oh, this is the level. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying yesterday. I forgot. It would be nice if this kind of made like an inverted head and shoulders to go test the all-time high. Could we do that? I don't know. What would send us back down? This could potentially be the neck right here. We have to pull back though, and then it send us higher. I don't know. Or we just reject. Who knows? Reject. Who knows? I don't know what this market's gonna do. Whom to believe? Okay, some nice selling right there. I didn't even have time to make a recap video for yesterday. I might get off late. The day before I got off late. I should be able to go live a little longer next week though, on a couple days. So if I'm still in this account or we can reset them, I should be able to pass some. Well, can't even say that, because you know what, this right here is exactly what the markets do right now. It's just a cycle we're in. Gotta be there to catch that's move when it happens. PLC is right there on the 5 minute. We got PLC right here. Let's put a pink line there. PLC. 5 minute PLC. Which means, let's see, it was resistance. Did not turn into support. Flush through it. It could be potential resistance in the future. Yeah, we got PLC down here too. We got some support and resistance down here. Damn. Oh, that's because it was choppy. I'm like, they got a PLC here. Nice sellers and sellers stepping in. That's expected though. We were pretty bullish on the day. We had a nice big candle. Could cool off before continuing higher, or we could just close the day with a big doji like the previous day. I don't know though. We're pretty. That's a pretty strong candle. Big coffin candle there. Conditions are still bullish. We got some sellers coming out. You weren't here last week when you said it's like, all right, pulling back. You weren't here one of those days. I blew the 150K eval after I only needed like 3,000, less than 4,000 to pass it. Failed it, got into the or that was the other week. Got into took a trade, passed the 50K, made 3K, reset the 150K, made $8,580 and 50 cents. Needed 400 what? $19.50 or something. What was it? It was $85.80. Yeah, $85.80, $8,580. Needed 9,000 to pass it and blew the account. Jeez. Doing crazy stuff. And then sometime this week, I put up 6K in the combine on the 150K account. Blew it. Terrible. And then day before yesterday, I put up 4K and 150 pound buy, and then blew it yesterday. So yeah, that's how it's been going for me this week. Burnt out. It's bouncing now. Back above that PLC area. See what kind of games they'll play right now. You know, just we got at least 15 minutes to let them right, do what they're gonna do. We don't need. Well, I'm not gonna rush anything. Just rush to blow it. No, let me put this bowl in the kitchen. 1 second. I'm gonna mute the mic real quick. 1 second. I'll be back. I'm not taking any trades either until the first 15 minutes. Oops, I'm not taking any trades until the first 15 minutes. So just give me 1 second. I'll be right back. You said I'm not alone. Right. Yeah, they do. One price I already said like this. Yeah, me too. Makes me nervous too. It's like, man, I missed the move. And that's what I wanted to say too. These markets, I've noted like sometimes the move is starting to happen overnight. 8 o'clock at night. It'd be the 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. Sometime overnight is the move is happening. I did the same with my last 350K. Only need 300. Man, it happens though, but oh, that's why it'll get to you. Just don't cry. If you don't cry, I won't cry. But if you cry, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna cry. I sure can. Sure. Right. No, you know what? I think it was doing this yesterday, and I went short on a candle like this for a flush. The continuation, actually, that doji. The next candle came through was a doji, and I went short, and I stopped out. I'm tracking. I'm tracking, Kiana. Hopefully, yep. Or after 10:30, initial balance is established at 10:30. Sometime today, right? Sometime today. Let's just be patient and wait for it, so we don't have to get upset. Yeah. I mean, This is what it did after the Ridgewater. Chadwick by Chadwick. Mm-hmm. Right. I wouldn't either. I don't even know why I'm live right now because the move ain't gonna happen till later. We back in those markets where by the time I start working, the move happens like right as I'm ending live or after I end it. Actually, this is short right here. This thing even not across here. I need patience. 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Support at the 100 EMA. So support. Look at that bomb. It's slow. It's the mark. I told you these the April market. April, May was May now. You know what they say. Summer may go away. Don't even touch the market. So it's just in this tight range, not doing nothing. This mix. Like it seems like it'd be hard to pass combine, but it really won't. I mean, if you catch the move, you got the right size on, you can pass it. If not, you just gotta be patient and catch. Yeah, wait it out exactly. And that's what me and this yeah, in a day, that's when it'll move. Or just not take a trade at all. Me and someone was just talking about that. Just, be impatient, gotta wait. Right, get a little bit to keep moving. But yeah, but it's not doing anything. I mean, it's classic. I see this every day, NASDAQ does this. Sideways. Oh, I do not like trading when it goes sideways. I do so bad all the time. I'm not a range trader. Because by the time I trade the range, by the time I figure out, oh, okay, or make the decision to trade it, we break out. And if I'm trading breakouts, we stay in the range. No, it's not that. Oh, yes, that's worse. I thought you was about to say it's yeah, for sure. This little range, exactly. Yeah, because you gotta try to see what works, what fits your style, and you have to. I told you I had to teach myself how to scout because the markets range 70% of the time or more, and so if we only getting moves 20-30% of the time, like big moves, then that means in order to survive, you gotta learn how to take small bites and trade the rate exactly, and then when the other 20 comes, then you get those big days. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly, 70, right, exactly. Right. And so you gotta learn how to scout. And then and with that comes, okay, how do I define my risk? You know what I'm saying? What is a um yeah. Mm-hmm. Right, like you wanna go to the free throw line, you don't wanna right. Then the 3 point. Mm-hmm. Or if you are a 3 point shooter, you're good. You don't back way up if you can't shoot from that deep. You pull it in. But you gotta tight range. I told you, we're gonna get these days where the range is so tight, and then at some point you might get a rotation out of the range to the downside or to the upside, and then back into it. Maybe to close, at the low of the range, the high of the range, in the middle of it. It's annoying. Look what Auntie said. Yeah, because I'm not. That's probably why I probably shouldn't trade. I was trying to pass the account yesterday because yeah, Fridays are typically not my best days, but today was NFP, and so I said I was gonna cover NFP, so I came on to cover NFP. It actually came in good. We it came in better than expected. They expected 130,000 jobs. Prior was 185. They expected 130,000, and it came in at 177,000. So 47,000 more, and that's where we got this big move from here to push us up. And now we're just ranging. And yeah, I'm not interested in trading it. I mean, I took a trade overnight. It was in profit sometime, but it came back to stop me out. So my take profit was just too high, I guess, for that trade. Either works or it doesn't. So down about 385 on a day. And these markets are tough right now, so I'm actually about to go work here in a half hour. Oh, you outside? Okay. One side, guys. 1 second, guys. Uh-oh. Did you go long? It's trying to break out. I don't know. This is what it did yesterday. This is what it did yesterday. What? 1 second. It just broke out. Not yet, but I'm more interested now. There it goes. I'm not even taking a trade. How is this thing still picking up what I'm saying? If it, guys, somebody needs to help me. I have my mic muted. It's still picking up what I'm saying. This dude is playing. Distract me. This was yesterday. Was it this Kindle? Yep. Tried to get in, thinking it was gonna flush for that continuation. Some momentum in this candle form, and I was like, ah, got me stopped out. And we broke up. What time? 10:18. No, you didn't. MACD is back. Yeah, MACD is bullish on the 3. Let me see. It's a 2-minute. It's bearish on the 5-minute. It's bullish on the 15. Conditions. Okay, no. Fake out, right? Break out, fake out. No, I don't know. Actually, we might get some continuation. We're above the moving averages. That's bullish. We're above the VWAP, above the 100 EMA. I mean, I don't know how long it's gonna go, but the MACD is bullish. RSI is above neutral. 5-minute. I don't know. Right? Who to trust? Right? We can't. I don't know. We never know though, right? That's what trading. We just trades. Speculation. Honestly, I want to go long here, but this 15 here, this is a 15-minute here. We got 7 minutes left on the 15-minute, but we got some more momentum coming in, so see. This is why I just got one micro. So if I do bad, I just can't let it get. I mean, yes. I really want. I just want to reset. I really just want to. I gotta reset all my accounts. This is the last one. I gotta reset the accounts, and I really just want to reset. Honestly, I want to just take Saturday, Sunday, and maybe even Monday off and reset. Yeah. You want to come look at this now? You just how you want me playing on my line? Childish. Can you come look? Well, I can turn the screen right here. You don't gotta get on the camera. You see it? So what's the difference between mic and mic aux? The auxiliary, like, is that? That's what I thought. Yeah, I did mute the aux.
But you got the gain all the way up, so that's why you're getting all that feedback.
Well, right here, I was wondering if I should turn that down. Yeah, but when back if I
You got the gain.
testing. Because my voice is low, so I need to have this. Yeah, I need to have this higher. I can't even hear myself. So that should be good. So I can turn it off for this one now?
You're turning the gain up, so the gain increases how much ambient noise it pulls.
Oh yeah, because I can hear you now just saying that. Uh-oh, did you go long, Kiana? I want to, I'm not gonna lie. Jeez, they are making me... At least to take out those levels. I'm about to close my eyes and buy. Second, yes. If you want to be on live, just come say hi. Yes. Just come say hi. Steven. No, you don't know. How? How any other time you don't have no time to stop. But when I'm on live. Why did I go live? I don't know. I mean, I do know, but was I patient? Probably not. Well, or did it make me blush? Probably. And just fake me out, probably. You going back to work? Were you going back to that development you just said? Did I? Don't look at me like that. Yeah, it does suck. Is that I'm finally in? It does. And it looks like it just wants to come right back here. Right back here. Again, well, it just came there, but just tap in there right where my stop is. Let's see. PLC. PLC is right here too on the 1 minute. Got a PLC right here. That's a 1 minute PLC, so that's what, and that's where we are. PLC is point of control for anybody that did not know, and that's where most of the buying and selling is taking place for that particular, for a certain period of time on that time frame. So there are a lot of buyers and sellers here, as we can imagine, because here we had some resistance where sellers came in and pushed it down. So now it's buying and selling going on to see if we're going to go higher than this level or break down. And so where I have a problem is being like, oh, I want to be in early, right? Instead of letting them go, come back and retest. Sometimes I'm good at it, but other times it's like, oh, I'm going to get for this move. And then I'm in. Why you looking at me like that? You I can't believe you did that. A house or a business? This thing take off, I'll hold it all day, but if not, I'm over it. I'm over it. My stop is at the same price, is it? Nice. Oh yeah, cause I'm risking $100. So I risk 200, but I only have one contract on, so the risk is $100. But if it was two, it would have been $200, and obviously the risk, the stop would have been higher. As there is a nice breakout. You're not gonna give me a kiss? I'm about to be done in a second. Miss Dawn Jackson and Kiana, I didn't tell y'all wasn't here yesterday. I got stung by a bee on Tuesday. It got stuck in my hair. And oh my goodness. My hair was hurting so bad yesterday. It got worse Wednesday and it got worse yesterday. And I think today is better. It's not throbbing on my finger. It's slightly swollen still, but it hurted so bad. I ain't been stung since I was a little girl. And I don't remember it being that painful. And then Court, y'all know Court be here. Yeah, y'all know Court. Yeah, it was stuck in my hair. The wind was blowing so hard, I think when I got out the car, it blew it into my hair because when I got in the store, I was talking to one of the employees and I did like this. And I thought that, oh, that's why I was echoing. and I thought that it was like that prickly, those little prickly cactus things that be in the trees, like in, you know, if you go on a nature walk. And I'm like, I haven't been any like where like that. What is this in my hair? And so I went to feel again, and I'm doing like this with this bee in my hand. I didn't know what it was. And then at the moment that I felt something wiggle and hurt, I just felt a sting, and I was like, ow, I think I just got stung by a bee. It's in my hair. And I put my head down. They were like, yeah, it is. And then they got it out. It flew out. And I was like, you bee. You bee. Why would you sting me in my finger? And then Court, pulling back here, Court that's usually in the chat was like, probably was one of them Bill Gates GMO bees. And I started laughing so hard, but I was like, I hope not. Like, that wouldn't be good. That wouldn't be good at all. Nice break out there. Getting a pull back here. I know. Yeah, that happens to you. It's like, man, that's what my friend said yesterday. She said she almost 40. She probably 40, but be 40 this year. And she said she'd never been stung by a bee. I was like, what? I got stung in my face, and that's how I knew. I got stung in my face when I was a kid, and they took dirt and mixed it with some water and then put it on my face and got the stinger out. And so I was going to do that yesterday just in case there was a stinger in there, but I didn't feel one. But just in case it was deeper, because I was freaking out because my hand was swollen and it was hurting. But it rained, and I was like, so it was, it was already mud, I guess. But then I'm on Google, and you know Google don't make it no better. But it was like, yeah, it's pretty normal, but if it continues like a week after, then they go see a doctor. Because I'm like, why is my finger getting big? It's hard where I got stung, like it's swollen. Then I'm like this, and my whole finger is swollen. I'm freaking out. All right, what are we doing? Pulling it back. Should have took that for it. Is it? Oh my goodness. Some shit. That's what I be saying about the love-hate relationship when they ask that. We broke. We can't get there, huh? We're not getting there. We are not. First of all, why is my stop money up there? I mean, my take profit. At least to these highs. Wow, what a rejection. I was 640 in profit. That's a nice. No, oh no. Coming back right here. Look what they did. You see that? Wow. Look at, what is this music? It's still outside. They could potentially come. I don't know. That's a lot of selling. That's heavy. That's a lot of pressure. They probably go. It's just my. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's happening. What is going on? Because it looks heavy. It looks like they want to. Yeah, it looks like they want to come just take my stock. Is that a PLC? We got a PLC here. Let me see what a 1 minute PLC is. Oh yeah, 1 minute PLC is here. They could definitely come test that. Right through my stop. You know what? I'm gonna open it up. Why? Well, because I don't mind risking 200, and I'll just be done on a day. But I want to. That's a pretty deep pullback, actually. Changing my trade. What was I at 2? Let me fix this. Hold on. Where was I at? Let me fix this. Because that's a deep pullback. If we go there, it just stops me out, and I still have another $100 for another trade instead of risking 200 on one. Because the conditions are bullish. We're above the RSI. they're gonna pull back for sure. They've already done it, but I don't. It's price action select. And I was thinking they could come test the VWAP. I mean, VWAP is all. I don't want them to do that. I was thinking they would test the PLC, the 1 minute PLC, which is that. Oh, it's right at my stop. Test and bounce. That's what I'm thinking. So that's why I wanted to open it up. Just so I didn't have to, lose 100 and then the trade goes my way. But also, I could dip into the next 100, but then I would have to tighten up a stop if I take another trade. Which means risking like let it go 50, another 50, so another 25 points on this risk, and just have like the risk on the next one 150 instead of 200. Or I can just man, yesterday I had a trade that I put on before the market ended. I had a trade, I got out of it and I got right back in it. Just wanted to see if there was a pullback, and I actually held that trade and actually made 500 on the trade. And then somehow I ended up in a tailspin again. I was like, man, I held that trade for a while, for longer than a couple minutes. It was really good. It played out. I'm not gonna say I can do that with this because we already are pretty. We are pretty green on the day. Let me see, up 1.38%. How many points are we up from overnight? Look at that. Wait, let me see, 6. 756 to 286, 156. Is that it? So about 400. We got 400 points from overnight. About. Yeah. So I mean, it can continue. The markets can do they can do whatever they want to do. BHGMOB. I'm gonna have to Google that. Yeah, man. I was like, yeah, I've seen it. I've heard stuff like that before. Cause when I was in school for chemistry or whatever, I've seen things like GMO mosquitoes and things like that. And just like we had conversations about how good, how not good. Like there's pros and cons, I guess. I don't know, but a con would be, they can use that to conspiracy to potentially transfer certain things. We bred flies and stuff when we were in school, and then we released them to the wild, and I remember just thinking like, why? After we did the whole fly experiment, and I'm like, so these flies came from like years and years and years ago, so they were all domesticated, but that's what we use to breed them in biology. And then the ones that survive when you're done, I doubt that they honestly survive once we let them loose. Flies don't live that long anyway, but I'm just like, well, what about the ones that do survive? And what does that mean for, I don't know, just could be me just thinking crazy. And that's when I learned that I think Cleveland Zoo had the last, was it a Siberian tiger? It was some kind of tiger that went extinct or was going extinct, and they had the last 3 at that zoo. However, exactly. But the tiger, they were a family, and they were trying to save the species, and so they started mating it at the zoo, And my biology teacher, which was his last year, he was so upset. He would like cuss and stuff, say damn, damn, and then the S word and stuff like that. And he was talking about how, you know, some scientists try to play God, and they do. And then there's others that, which I believe I fit in that category. They understand that there is no separation. Like, we're just explaining, you know, God and His creation. Like, you can't separate the two. But they were breeding that tiger, and what happened was, since they were so closely related, all the offspring was like either being born like blind in one eye, or missing an organ, or with the same heart problems. Like, they were all born with the same exact defect, and they couldn't like have it out to show the people, oh, it's terrible. And I'm like, what? That's what they're, I mean, I guess I get they were trying to save it, but he was so upset. Like, they were worse off than they would have been if nature would have, you know, decided that, or if God, you know, through nature would have decided that that's what was supposed to happen. Or maybe if they wouldn't have had him in captivity in the first place. But yeah, I was like, what? And this is right in Cleveland? Like, Cleveland, Ohio, at the zoo? Like, they were breeding. And so basically it was like inbred. And it was like, you know, you ain't supposed to do that. Not even with animals. It's like, what? That's crazy. Wild stuff. Still holding the trade. We had a nice pullback there. Now this should be nice and bullish now. Dare I say it? We should get some more continuation. 5 minute, 15 minute looks good. I'm actually gonna move my stop up here if we can get above that light blue dotted line, get a little pullback, and if we continue, then I can move my stop up. I'm actually gonna move it higher. I don't want to risk the whole 100 again after we make this move up here, because if we come below here, I mean, well, let me think about this. Because we could potentially pull back there. Let me see how much time is it. 10 days. Okay, yeah, so they're going to validate it or invalidate it. And that's what I need to see before I move my stop. Just try to give it a little time to play out. MACD giving up in 5 minutes. RSI pulling back. Let's see the drama. Say the drama by y'all mama. Let's see the drama that they do here. Here we go, drama. Where did your son get? Look at that. Pull back. Where did he get stung at? In his finger too, or he just got stung? You just saying that happened to him? Yeah. So we got sellers up here. They took it just another leg higher. So since we didn't get that much continuation and we got this deep pullback, the trade could potentially be invalidated. Right? What you want to see is it go. I wanted it to go a little higher and then come back to test this level, and then bounce off of that. Then I could have moved my stop up to that level. But I don't want to move it yet while we're still pulling back, which means that this trade, I mean, it may play out, it may not. If it doesn't, we lose $100 and we're done for the day, probably. I'm gonna get off live for sure and start go working. But if I come back like 11:30, or if I see something between 11 and 12, or after 12, then I'm not opposed to taking it. 12 is the lunch time where I'm at, so sometimes it's slower and it doesn't do anything, and other times We get a nice move during that time. Yeah, my finger feels better. It was all hot yesterday and just doing weird stuff. But we'll see once I start get moving and stuff. Start irritating it. I was gonna do the baking soda thing yesterday, but I was like, eh. So we'll see. Alright, that was another pullback. I don't like these pullbacks. I don't know. It's just something about them that the price action just isn't as clean. Look at the price action. That's our market. This is what our markets used to look like. Slightly smoother. Well, besides the April months, obviously. This was a nice move at 8 o'clock last night. I missed. By the time I looked at the charts, we was way up here. I was like, what? Because I had just got done working. I was like, what? That big old move? That wasn't all that clear overnight, but usually the price action is like cleaner overnight. Yeah, see, that's why I don't like that pullback. These pullbacks, they're too tight. So we can, are we gonna start ranging? Here we go. We kind of just got this. How do I want to draw this? We got these areas where price is not really doing nothing. Now they're dumping. We got this kind of level here, this zone here, and then we got another zone here. Not doing that. Up and down, up and down. Up, down. Maybe up. Wishful thinking. Yeah, exactly. That's what it does. And then, and so now it becomes, okay, well, it would have fell back in there. Because, you know, measure moves. Sometimes when you're trading in a range, you'll get what you call like measure moves happen everywhere, but you'll get measure moves. And so, like, if you're in a range, then the breakout, like the measure moves to the upside. After it falls back in and breaks below, you can expect that same measure move to the downside. If it respects this price structure, then it'll pull back in there and kind of trade back in the range. But yeah, this move will be equal to this move. It's so many different ways that the markets move. But sometimes, yeah, it just moves like this. I don't like when it does that either, where it just moves here, and it pushes you up to the next level, and it moves here. Then it pushes you up to the next level, and it moves here. Pushes you up to the next level, moves here. And then when you look back at the charts, right, when like at the end of the day, when you zoom out and you do one of these, you're like, man, I should just went long way down here, because in hindsight, you're like, overall the day was bullish, but while it's playing out, it's not giving you anything clear that makes you want to get in the trade. But like, honestly, I would have loved to be in the trade down here versus up here. Because now if we break this and come back into this level, yeah, my stop is going to get hit. But I'm not. And then I'm thinking that it's probably going to break out to the downside if it does that. But I'm not comfortable going short. Shit, today is Friday too. Today is also Friday. Which means price action is always... Did you look that up? Yeah, measure moves, of course. Let me show you. Let me see. I want to show you something real quick, if I may. If you can give me a quick second of your time. So this is the NASDAQ chart, right? And it's a little messy, so bear with me, because I make a lot of notes and stuff on my chart. So I think I have the back adjustments on. So if you look at, let me put it on the weekly. So if you look at this chart, this is the weekly, right? And this down here is March 2020. This here is December 2022 to January 2023. And then I was expecting a pullback sometime. If we rejected off of these highs, I was expecting to pull back somewhere around this level. It doesn't have to be. Now, obviously, we came around there. Everything is a zone, right? It's never like an exact price, but it happens so fast. But as you can see, my line is still there. We pretty much got that move, right? We just didn't take as much time as like the move would expect, because obviously nobody ever knows. But this right here, that business Trump was doing and wiping out $11 trillion in less than 3 months in the market, it's crazy. People were upset. That's never been done in history before, and just for them to manipulate the markets the way they did, I mean, I don't know, all speculation. But what I wanted to show you right here is these are called measure moves. So when we're looking at this, none of this is formed. We're in December, and I'm like, first of all, this right here in 2024 of July, I had that measure move there because when we pulled back there, I said, okay, if we continue, we can come back down to test the slope and resist this slope and support, right? So I put this blue line here, as you can see on the weekly, and we pulled back from December of 2021 to October of 2022, right? And now what you'll also realize within these pullbacks is that the peaks are always at the end of the month. And so that's how investors invest. When it comes to investing for the year, here in November, what did you want to do? You wanted to position yourself in shorts for the entire year. You know what I'm saying? You recognize you reach your top and it's time for a pullback. Amongst probably other things in the economy that's going on, and I think this was the COVID thing, right? The bull run after the COVID, and then it was time for a pullback. But you can look at the moving averages the same way you do on a regular chart. This is a weekly. The moving averages are crossing. It's letting you know that this is going bearish, right? We're due for a pullback. I'm pretty sure the bonds and everything, the 10-year yield, I'm pretty sure when you looked at things like that, they were starting to invert, which they were. And that's all telling you that we're due for a pullback. And so what you do is, if this line is drawn, you just start to imagine where it could come to, right? And once we do get this move here, once you get this move right here, then you can finally draw, adjust the line so that it's in place. And then you take your tool and you draw a line right here from the top of here, which is December 2021, to the bottom, which is November 22. I'll go back to that in a second, but November 2022. And then what you do is you click on that line and you clone it. And so if you clone that line and you come to your current highs, which is what I did, let me unlock it, which is what I did in December, and I put that line there, that's how I got this measure move, right? So I said, okay, when it's time to pull back. First I did it in July 2024, we bounced. Okay, we invalidated. This time I moved it here and I said, if we fall, then we could potentially fall to come test that slope and support. Now, if you look, this was just in March or April. You see what we did? We came right back. We almost touched the line. We didn't touch it again. Everything is a range, which means the line actually should be drawn from the bodies of these candles down to somewhere from the bodies of these candles down to like that, like the bottom of the bodies, the closest ones, like the bottom of the bodies are the lowest candles and the bottom of the wicks. And as you can see, we touched exactly at the top of what would have been that zone, that range. You know what I'm saying? I understand that, so I don't need to put two lines on that. But that's a measure move. And so I was kind of upset that I didn't get in the shorts this time because I was so focused on trading futures. But yeah, exactly. But if I did, I would have been in a good position. But yeah, that's the same way that you can trade on smaller time frames. The same way you look at smaller time frames, you can look at larger time frames. But again, like here, we bounced in 2020 and we had a bull run. That was the COVID. So after we reversed and came down, and we reversed for a whole year, and look what we did in September, October, November, we started to flatten out. So experienced people in the market right here in October 2022 and December, they are starting to position themselves in stocks. Like you get into the companies, right? Because this is a good pullback. So right here, this is called a sell. And investing, this is where when we're down 20, 10, 20, 30%, whatever, people are scared, the market is fearful. The smart money, what they do is they understand it's time to invest. And as you can see, things are flattening out the same way they do on trading charts that me and you look at it daily. And they are starting to position themselves. And you got people buying calls for the year, doing leap options, and buying in the stocks like, you know, Apple's, the Teslas, whatever. And so this is the Nasdaq. So we're tracking the top 500 companies in the world, right? Which tracks those some AI stocks like heavily, and that's why if certain stocks are up, you'll see the Nasdaq up and it's dragging the Nasdaq down or taking it up and stuff like that. But what you do right here at the bottom of the year, again, is you position yourself in calls. So this year, so in 2020 you position your calls. You hold it for the year. You hold it until November of 2021, right? End of the year, last quarter. Everybody's selling. Starts to pull back. So you get in shorts here, right? And it pulls back for another year. So 2020 to 2021, you're in calls. 2021 to 2022, you were in shorts, right? 2022 to 2023, look at that. You bought calls and it went way up. And from 2022, December 2022, January 2023, you held calls all the way into this December 2024, January 2025. And look what happened. This year, you were supposed to position yourself in puts, right? And what it should have been was, this year should have been kind of like, according to data, right? The history we just looked at, it should have been an overall bearish year. So we should have kind of traded lower with some highs and lows, some peaks, right? Bullish divergences within the bearish cycle. And we probably should have did that all year. And then at the end of the year, you could position yourself in calls and hold them until 2026. But because of the crazy stuff that was going on in the war on tariffs, we kind of took that measure move out very quickly. And we did it in 3 months instead of the whole year. And at the end of the year, like I said, when people are fearful and we're down 30%, remember early April and, into March, we were down 20-30%. People were like throwing the R word around and everything was scary. People were upset. You were looking at your portfolios, 401ks weren't looking good. And when everybody was fearful, look what happened. Well, somebody got the drop because they bought enough to put, this isn't retail. Retail follow this. These are the big whales. We follow it and we make money, but something happened. I mean, I know we've seen the news coming out about tariffs and making deals and all this stuff, which there was some mixed information about that, where Trump was saying one thing and Bissett was saying another, but that's another topic. But anyways, as you can see, this bounced, and then here we are back. We're probably down not even 10% for the year. You know what I'm saying? So this year was kind of crazy. Looking back at the history, that measure move, that measure move, it should have been this measure move, which it was, but it should have happened slightly slower and been like a little less painful over time, but but it was just like, boom, deep cut. We're going to cut you so deep and then we're going to heal you real fast. But yeah, that's what happened, this measure move. And so now what we're hearing, so since it happened so fast, I'm like, honestly, I don't know what's going to happen. Because after this move, people should have been able to present. A lot of people that play the options games, they're like, look, it's a circus now too. People are like, what do we do? Because at the end, okay, we took a loss or whatever. Some people were still holding. Some people took a loss. Now it's time to position ourselves and get the money back. You position yourselves back in. We had a bullish year. It takes about, so many months to complete that bear cycle. You got so many months down, so many months sideways, and then it starts to turn around. That's the data historically, like since the stock market has been. But for whatever reason, it changed this time because we had some crazy stuff, like I said again, going on, and some data. This is like data driven markets, right? So yeah, sorry I dragged that out a little bit, but yep. And so now, it's like, what do we do? Are we going to test the all-time highs from here? Or are we going to pull back and continue this measure move and then position ourselves like at the end of 2025 to buy calls? I don't know. But if we do, I know this time, since I know that, right, from studying the markets, now I know, like, okay, I actually just was studying that on a daily this year, and I'm like, oh my God, I realized that pattern. The end of the year is, and I'm like, that's why they position themselves at the end of the year. There's always repositioning every quarter, but at the end of the year, I can see like, okay, on the charts, at the end of the year, that's when you want to be positioned. And that's because I always wonder, like, when do I get in for the yearly play? But I see, right? For options, if I'm a hold an Apple call all year, well, I want to get in at the bottom. Well, how do I find the bottom? Well, it's hard to pick the bottom, but on the daily, if we start flattening out and bottoming out, I'm gonna treat it just like I'm trading a 5 minute and a 3 minute or the 15 minute, right? When it starts bottoming out, hey, I'm gonna get in the car and I'm gonna just hold it for the entire year. I'm gonna do it on SoFi though, because that's my baby. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, for sure. Just go back and look at your charts and, man, make notes. I don't know what platform you use, but I have a few different charts. I should be kind of trading on the. I made a new chart here. Wait, let me save this. I made a new chart here because this one is so marked up, but my crosshair isn't syncing and I can't figure out why. Everything else is syncing. So, um, where is the data? Oh. And so, because I wanted to trade like this with a cleaner chart, just redo my lines, but I had to figure that out sometime. Um, just up and down in this trade. I was watching it while I was running my mouth. It's been going up and down. But yep, hopefully that was helpful. And then when you start understanding that, like, okay, you can kind of play the game. It's the same. But on larger time frames, um, larger time frames tell you the story better than the smaller time frames does, right? The smaller time frames have a lot of different distractions and a lot of different news going on, but the larger ones are like, this is the true story. It's no different than looking at the 1 minute through the 5 minute versus looking at the 15 through the 4 hour or the 1 hour through the 4 hour, where you get the actual picture. You get all these candles up and downs, and you're like stopped out, blue account, but then you look at the 4 hour and you like, man, look at that. There's 3 big green candles. If I could have just, And so what I do when I'm doing that type of stuff, like if I do that, I'm like, man, I just got stuff. What happened? So what you can do is you take your little tool and you draw a circle like at the bottom of the candle or something, right? Okay. Or wherever your entry point, wherever you wanted your entry point to be. So let's say these candles, you like, well, how would I know to get in at the bottom of these 4 minute candles? Right? And then you just highlight that level. And then you drop down to your smaller time frames and you find that level. And you look at it and you study and say, well, what did we do? Well, we kept bottoming out here. We tested here 3 times. That's a triple bottom. You know what I'm saying? It was overnight. The moving averages were flat. We got above them. Once we got this curl up, we got the moving average cross. That lined up with the RSI, the MACD, da-da-da. Look at the cloud. We crossed above the VWAP. You know what I mean? Look, when we got above the 100-day, it was even stronger. And the move continued. And you know what I mean? How you can do that? That's what I do. Hello? Yes. When I break down my charts instead, study, that's what I do. Alex? Yeah. 1 second. This ain't going nowhere. I mean, we're just kind of consolidating here. Buyers are holding it up, but if they can't push it up, then sellers gonna maybe push it down. You said you thought what? So you gotta take your truck there? another thing is that the markets are designed to go up over time, and so that's why sometimes, all right, sometimes you'll see the market rising on no volume, and to me it makes sense because it's like, okay, the volume isn't there, but the market is designed to go up over time. So what is it gonna do? It's just gonna keep buying, going up and up and up. The only time when it goes down is when volume comes in, and that's why you want to see volume when selling. I mean, you want to see volume with buyers too, but I mean, that's why you'll see volume coming in with sellers because it's going to take somebody to come in and basically push the market down because it's designed to go up. And so when you got people taking profits or offering something at a lower price, then that creates selling. And so then you have this thing called the markets where you can facilitate trade, because without sellers, the market would just drift up over time. Yeah, this looks like it wants to curl over here. The MACD on the 5-minute, the MACD on the 5-minute is bearish. And the 5-minute candles, we got kind of a bear cycle forming here. I know I was in profit a couple times, but I wanted the trade to play out. And like I said, if the buyers can't, if the sellers push it up, if the sellers push it, what am I trying to say here? If the buyers can't buy it up, the sellers are going to push it down. I don't know. And then if there's equal buyers and sellers, we could just float sideways. It's Friday. And sometimes, I almost want to say by now we would have known what the market was going to do. But that's not always on every Friday. So I can't, some Fridays it's like that where we get the move pretty early. The first half hour, 45 minutes of trading, that's like, oh, this is a trend day. Other than that, it's kind of muted. But then other times we get a nice move. You know what? Let's just see what the market does, because we don't know. I know I'm about to wrap it up here though. It's 10:54, and I'm still sitting here. Yeah, but Kiana, no problem. I be seeing a lot of things in the market. I just haven't. I need to get more time to. That's why I need to get these payouts right. And I'll slide videos in there too when I have time. I still have to do the RSI video for people that don't know what the RSI. I know you can Google it, but just put it on my channel for my subscribers. What it is, how I use it, what my settings are. And then just talking about basic market structure like support and resistance. I want to do a video on that. And confluence trading, right? And that's where I'm trying to build up to. I can't wait to get the account large enough to actually. I guess we all trade confluence, but really trading based off of like the 15-minute, the 30-minute, the hour, and then looking at the 3-minute for entries and holding it for, like long periods of time. Like if the setup is there, I'm able to get in at like 6 o'clock at night and hold it all the way till 2, 3, 4 the next day. Like that type of, I want to catch those type of moves, but you do have to be on a larger time frame, and you will take a less amount of trades because you have to wait for those setups. So it may be 1 or 2 trades a week, maybe. But I want to get the account big enough to be able to take those trades and put a little size on them so that, you've made good money for the week, and if you do take 1 or 2 trades a week, you're still making like a great deal of money for the month. But obviously I can't do that until I get that cushion in the account so that I can be able to survive the drawdown. And so that's really what I want to do. Like that's what I want to work on. I don't want to do it in a live account, like in my own account, because I'd rather do it in the funding. I'd rather get that funding built up, and you know what I mean. I don't know. It's just in my live account, trade options, invest in my little Roth, trade options in the Roth and do it like that. So yeah, it's been fun. If you guys trade, stay patient, stay diligent. Don't force anything. Oh my gosh, I did this last Friday. I'm not forced. I'm not gonna force. I promise. Don't force anything because I've had enough this week. I'm beat. The markets beat me this week. Um, but it's all good. We're gonna reset and we're gonna come back and fight another week. Um, Stay patient, stay diligent. Don't force any trades. If it's there, take it. If it's not, just leave it alone. It's Friday. Let's come back Monday, Tuesday. I think I may take Monday. No, I'm not gonna take Monday off. I'll be here for you guys. I'll be here, and y'all are here for me. I need y'all too. All right, so I'll be here Monday. I'm gonna go work and make some money that I can actually send to my account today or tomorrow or the next day if I choose. I am gonna hold this trade. I guess if you're watching the markets, hey, my stop is at 20.096.75. If we hit that stop, then I'm out. If we break above if we get 20,195, break above there, we find support, then yeah, I'll move my stop up. But other than that, I'm okay. Down $400, risking another 100 on this. So if anything, I'll be down $500. And this is a newer account, so then I'll need what, 3,500 instead of 300, 3,500 instead of 3,000 to master the account. It's okay, it can be done, but the markets are a little more challenging now, so I'm not gonna force anything. Only thing I can do is trade what I see, and if the trade plays out, it does. If not, then we try again, right? We dust it off and we try again, knowing that the markets are always here. There's another opportunity. And you know, my data says I'm a struggle for a couple months, and I'm okay with that, because I understand it now. So it's not gonna hurt so much because, you know, I'm in that season, and so yeah, we'll see how it goes though. Like I said, it can change because I understand that now. I didn't understand that last year, but I understand that now, so I can be a little more careful, just a little bit. As far as like, you know, well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Because you know what? You can say all you want, but sometimes the markets they make you do sporadic things. They make you just, you know, act like the NASDAQ, especially if you trade the NASDAQ. If you trade the NASDAQ, don't even worry about it. I already know what kind of personality you got because I trade it and I do too. But yeah, it's been fun, loves. It's Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Auntie, love you. Thank you for joining, Kiana. Yep, Monday, stay vigilant. Yep. And yeah, again, I'm monitoring this trade. I'm going to work. God bless, and I'll see you Monday.